Welcome to Rules I Refuse to Follow, a weekly bite-sized segment where I unpack the unspoken rules women are expected to follow in business, relationships, and daily life, and lovingly burn them to the fucking ground. This is Too Much, Not Enough, the podcast helping 6- and 7-figure female leaders understand how chasing success is causing your low self-worth and anxiety, and how awakening your divine feminine energy will reignite flow, abundance, and ease. I'm your host, Hannah O'Donovan, and this week's rule, crowdsourcing your decision-making. We've been conditioned to believe that good decisions are researched, discussed, vetted by mentors, partners, parents, friends, and the internet. And only then do we deem them valid. Only then do we move ahead towards this good decision. But what if the most aligned decisions never needed a consensus with the outside world? When we crowdsource our next move, we override our inner knowing. And to be real with you, we're actually likely playing out codependency cycles that our nervous system has come to learn are safe. Let me explain what I mean by that. When we are faced with a decision and we go to our best friend, our sister, our parents, our partner, and ask them what they think, what we should do, every time we make a decision, or at least majority of the times we make decisions, it's likely that your nervous system has learned that in order to be accepted, in order to feel safe and in this world, in your relationships, that you need to do things that other people approve of, that other people think are the right way to do. And maybe as you're listening to this, you're like, nah, I don't think that's me. But I want you to think about, when was the last time you had a disagreement with someone over something that either they were going to do or you were going to do, and you really stood your ground? And I'm not meaning in like an aggressive, you're wrong, fuck you way, but stood your ground in a, no, I know this is the next right step for me. And even though you might not see or understand it yet, this truth is so real to me that lovingly, I am going to move forward with my decision, not make you feel comfortable by adapting what I want to do to what it is you think I should do. And this all has to do with learning to trust yourself first, and the loudest, quite frankly. This is one of the most radical things that you can do as a successful woman awakening her feminine power, because the core of divine feminine power is sourcing truth from within. And so when we are crowdsourcing our decision making, we're not sourcing our truth from within. In fact, we're overriding that knowing, that deep truth, in order to make others feel comfortable, which in turn makes us feel comfortable. So when I say that I have ditched crowdsourcing my decision making, I'm not saying that it was this like easy breezy, beautiful cover girl moment for me. It was tough, and it has been an ongoing practice in my life. And I will say that for me, I became very hyper aware that I was outsourcing my decision making when it came to my parents. I have a very close relationship with my parents. I love them dearly. I deeply respect their ideas, opinions, thoughts, the way that they view life, their openness, their honesty. And so I spent a lot of my life going to them with all the decisions I needed to make, going to them with like basically everything. Like the minute something happened to me, my knee-jerk reaction was to pick up the phone, call or text my mom and tell her about it, or vent to her about it. Or really what it was at the end of the day was, I have this really big feeling or this really big thing sitting in front of me and I can't hold it alone. So can you please help me hold it? I say this to say that it's not abnormal for us as women to be in a position where you are outsourcing your decisions to others, because it is conditioned in us that we don't know better. We have been taught through, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years of patriarchal rule, though I won't get into the details of that now. But in our homes, in our families, in our relationships, at work, there are constant moments every day where we consciously or unconsciously have been put in situations where our thoughts, ideas, decisions have been overruled, and not even necessarily in an overt way, because we've seen these very overt examples of women in meetings being shut down, or in relationships being just like absolutely bulldozed over. And you may be thinking, well, but that's not my experience. And I kind of thought that too. I was like, well, I actually like had, when I first started working in like my full-time career after university, I had all these amazing role model women who I was working with. I happened to be in an industry where a lot of the people at the top in executive positions were women. And so I was surrounded by these like badass women, and I didn't have any like necessarily overt situations where I was in meetings and being shut down necessarily. Not that, by the way, only men shut down women, because women shut down women as well. But when I really thought about it, there have been micro moments throughout my life where a friend or a partner or whoever have shut down my idea, or who have questioned, probably more so out of concern or their own discomfort than anything, not maliciously. But that conditioned me to feel like I needed to double check what I was going to do next with like 50 people before I did it. And more to the point, it made me feel more comfortable. It made my nervous system feel more safe to call my mom and say, okay, I'm thinking of doing this. What do you think? And let me be so clear here. I have not stopped like cold turkey asking others for their opinions or inputs. So this is not to say that you just like never ask anyone or talk to anyone about a decision you're making ever again. More to the point, it's about thinking, why am I going to this person to get an opinion on this decision I'm trying to make? Is it because I'm having a nervous system response? Is it a codependency thing? Is it because I'm so disconnected from my own inner truth, my intuition, that I can't hear it, so I can't even make a decision? Or is it because I actually don't have enough experience in this area and I want their opinion? Or I maybe not, like I know that I'm not seeing all the sides of this problem or this challenge, and therefore I would like another opinion to help me see everything. And I would hazard a guess, because this is something that I have gone through an experience and I have watched other people go through an experience, that there are many times when you have a decision to make, like more likely a big decision to make, that your knee-jerk reaction is to go and crowdsource opinions for that decision from everyone in your life. And only then will you deem like what you're going to move forward with next as valid. So I challenge you in the same way that I've challenged myself over the years to pause and think, okay, I'm going to take a moment to really connect to my intuition here. Is this decision that is in front of me that I need to make something that I already know the answer to, and that I don't, in fact, need to go out to anyone else to know that this is the right aligned decision for me? Because many times that has been the case for me, where I'm like, oh, I already knew what the answer was here 4 months ago. And maybe I needed some time, and maybe I did need to chat to a few people about it to get to this point, and that's okay. But it's all part of that practice, building that muscle of saying, I actually know in my gut what is the right and aligned decision for me next, even though others may not understand it, even though others may question it. From a place of love and support and concern, fine. But the more I connect to my inner knowing, and the more confident I am that that is my truth that is going to move me forward into the life that is really meant for me, then the more I can show up in situations where I'm making big decisions and not ask for permission, but instead in my confidence say, this is what I will be doing. And you're welcome to ask me questions, but please know that like the decision has been made. And so this is why I now refuse to follow this idea that crowdsourcing your decision making is somehow better, because we are then giving our power externally to others rather than internally, which is something that we've been conditioned and taught is the case, that someone else out there knows and holds the ultimate truth. But that's not accurate. We hold the ultimate truth. So the next time you have a big decision to make, I highly recommend that you go inward, because you probably already know the answer. And going out to your mom, your sister, your best friend, whoever it is, for the answer is just going to take you on this like big circuit to get you back to the thing you already knew inside. So that is this week's rule I refuse to follow. Come back next Sunday for the next rule that I say the big old fuck you to.